mahirap i-interpret. Coco bacilla is pwedeng normal flora lang yun eh. Kaya halos lahat ng gram stain mo, vaginal discharge, makikita mo talaga yun eh. It's normal flora. So I think, ang pinaka-importante malaman when you do yung gram stain of vaginal discharge, tignan mo kung may bacilli siya. Pag may bacilli kang nire-report, such as that you see in lactobacilli, you know it's healthy. Pero kanyari, in-gram stain mo siya, ni isang bacilli, wala. Abnormal yan. Parating abnormal yan. Pero kanyari, Coco bacilli, gram negative, gram positive, cocci, etc. That doesn't mean anything. Hindi niya sasabihin sa'yo kung infection niya o hindi. Not even if sabihin niya, past cells ganito, past cells ganyan, doesn't mean anything. The only thing you can, well, the only helpful thing is kung may lactobacilli ba dyan or wala. Ang itsura po ng lactobacilli, pag tinignan sa gram stain, i-report sa inyo, gram-positive bacilli. Kung sinabi niya, mayroong gram-positive bacilli sa smear, ibig sabihin ng normal. Pag sinabi niya, wala akong makitang gram-positive bacilli, abnormal yun. Pero hindi natin alam bakit sa abnormal. Alam lang natin sa abnormal. So it's difficult to treat based on, kanyari, Coco bacilli lang, ganyan, buntis, etc. Kasi buntis, pregnancy is one of the conditions where you have logorrhea. Yung tawag ng logorrhea, marami pang discharge, no? Pero not necessarily abnormal yan. Physiologic, pwede ba yan? Tanungin mo siya, yun bang discharge mo? Ano yung listahan natin? Mabago ba? Makati ba? Burning? Greenish ba yung ano mo? Yeah, discharge mo? May dugo ba yung discharge mo? Yung limang question. Pag sinabi niya lahat doon, no, medyo madami lang. Say, buntis ka eh, siyempre madami lang. Kaya nag-ovulate ka eh. Kaya madami yan. Yung gano'n. Kaya, may ininom kang gamot. Posibleng maka-increase ng hemolytic. Dadami yung ano eh. Yung discharge mo eh. Kasi yung mucus mo, yung cells, dumadami yung secretion na. Ano?
Tungkol po sa PID sa Gomez Law. Positive for implant.
You're talking about gram-negative intracellular diplococci. Kapag ganun ang gram stain mo, that's pathology. Buntis, kung diagnosis mo sa buntis, gonorrhea, yung septic sign and ceftriaxone pa rin ang treatment. Septic sign, these are cephalosporins kasi. So they're safe for pregnant women. Septic sign, ceftriaxone. They're also safe for gonorrhea in pregnant patients. So you can give them. Yung gram-negative intracellular diplococci, di ba? Gonorrhea yun.
Yung question na sa CPXM at CPXM, hindi na
you can give doxycycline to pregnant patients. That's contraindicated. Yung doxycycline, yung mga tetracyclines, no? Kasi they cause abnormal babies. So, kunyari, you have a patient with gonorrhea, you treat the gonorrhea with septic sign or ceftriaxone. If you want to treat empirically at the same time for chlamydia, kasi common na nangyayari yun, you give azithromycin. Azithromycin or Citromax for the chlamydia, this is safe for pregnant women. Don't give fluoroquinolones or toxins or tetracyclines for pregnant women. That's not allowed.
Any more questions? Yes, ma'am.
Doctor, is there any test for male? For any discharges, usually having yellowish discharge.
Males?
When the husband,
If there is urethral discharge in males, many would just go ahead and treat for gonorrhea and chlamydia. The most that you would probably want to do is a gram stain. Gram stain. That would be alright. But most would not treat it anymore. They see it already. Ngayon, nakita mo na. Just go ahead and treat GC and the media. Most of the time, you will be okay.
Questions?
Ang patient ko po ay pill user. Tapos nagpa-paxman siya kasi may mga complain. Diba ba sa paxman niya, tirabadinosis, inflammation severe. Tapos meron siya, labi siya may bleeding, pinag-ultrasound, nakalagay, uterine myoma. May 5.4 by 4.4. Kasi tinanong ko siya sa OB, kaya lang hindi ko makapag-decide dito financial reason.
Nagpapaxman siya kasi pills?
May discharge siya.
Okay.
Tapos siya lumabas ko, may bacterial.
Okay, so then dito may bacterial vaginosis. And then pinag-ultrasound, may incidental finding.
Meron po kayo. Uterine myoma na 5.4 by 4.4.
Very critical yung location yung myoma ganun size. Kasi by itself, hindi siya malaki. Maliit niya. Pero depende sa location niya, it can be a problem. For example, kung yung location ng myoma niya nandun sa endometrium, no? Ang tawag namin doon, submucous myoma. No, so it's not enough na nangyari sa may myoma siya. Hindi mo, nasaan?
Ano yung uterine myoma?
Yun na yun yung myoma. Pero kailangan, tingnan mo dun sa reading ng ultrasound, saan location siya within the uterus. Okay, at least tatlong klaseng myoma. No? Depende kung nasan siya. Meron yung tinatawag na subserous. Yung subserous, nandun lang yun sa surface ng myoma. Nakabukol lang na gano'n. Yung intramural, nandun sa muscle mismo. Yung submucous, nandun siya dun sa may lugar na nagme-menstruate. Yung may endometrium. Alam mo yung endometrium? Yung endometrium, yun yung loob. Doon nagagaling yung regla. Pag yung myoma mo, nandun siya sa may endometrium, at tawag doon, submucous myoma. Kahit na 1 cm lang siya, magpapos siya ng abnormal bleeding. Kailangan siyang alisin. Pero kung yung myoma mo, kahit na 10 centimeters pa siya, subserous, nandun lang sa may surface, wala siyang other symptoms, kahit hindi mo alisin. So, it's not enough na may myoma, na may size. Very important. Nasaan yung location niya? Is it subserous, intramural, or submucous? Yung submucous, naalis yan. Kasi it will cause bleeding, normal bleeding. So again, depende sa location mo ngayon.
Questions?
Okay?
So if you don't have any more questions, let's give a round of applause for
Thank you po for
We acknowledge the presence of Secretary Esperanza Cabral of the Department of Social Welfare and Development. Good morning po, ma'am.
Hello! Hi! Buhay na buhay talaga. This is our second day of our National Congress. I think if you're familiar with the song Disappear